Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our pitch event number 68. As always, we are very excited to introduce our founders coming from Europe and US. Now, before starting, you can follow us on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We have an extensive number of videos on our YouTube channel, so you can go there and see all our pitch events one by one, as also our podcast. And anyone who wants to pitch, event, just email to pitch@equitymatch.co. You can see on the low banner. As well as today, any comment you want to make with our funders, any question you want to bring to them, please write them down as we stream on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, and we bring them to our funders. So I'm not going to waste any time. So we move straight to the point. And George, Daniela, Nina, and Clive, thank you so much for coming. I'm very happy to have you with us and to enjoy 1 hour together talk about startup, venture capital, and all about. So starting with our founder number one, Daniela de Sa, founder of Najha. Najha is headquartered in New Jersey, US. Fashion is the sector. We are talking about investing around seed of 1 million in USD. How's it going, Daniela?
Hi, Max. Thank you. Thank you, Janani, and all the team for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Wow.
So let's give an introduction to yourself, and after just go straight to pitch. Don't wait for me. Thank
Okay.
you.
So, hello, everyone. Once more, thank you, Equity team, for this opportunity. And I am Daniela de Sa. I came from a family related with the shoe business. We are shoemakers since my grandparents. And along the way, while working the family business, I realized how much the fashion industry is polluting the planet. And I was able also to work with brands like Gucci, Versace, and all the luxury brands in the market. So there, I learned all the high standards for the luxury fashion production. And I put together this knowledge with the sustainable materials, and I create my own brand called Najha. So, going to the point, the problem. The fashion industry, the second most polluting industry in the world, water waste, chemicals, carbon emissions, and many other problems that exist inside the fashion industry. And at the end, 87% of the fashion production is ended in landfills, forests, and deserts. And definitely, the consumer is looking for new solutions, sustainable solutions, and a different way of lifestyle. So the solution, we put together this knowledge from the family heritage, the craftsman savoir-faire, with the materials that we think are the future: recycled, recyclable, organic, and many other materials with the certification of sustainability and vegan materials. We have plenty huge of different materials, from fruit fibers, from recycled fibers, upcycled from marine litter, and many, many others. Our biggest point is that we are so close to the production, not only of fashion, but also about the raw materials. We have our own suppliers and we work together with them. And we are able to be vanguard in market because we use tech to create the new materials. So it's very unique in the market. And at this moment, we are now developing a sole made from hospital waste, our own method of pigmentation with a bacteria, not using chemicals or natural resources. We are able to make our own paper with 100% recycled fabric powder. With powder, we make the paper. We use sustainable design. We use the biometric to create our own fabrics. And we are able to really reach the point of the pollution and the damage of the fashion industry in the planet and the people. So the potential of the market is growing every year, And at this moment, sustainable market is almost 7 billion. By 2030, we are aiming to reach 200 million for Najha market share. Our biggest milestones is a invitation for the Excellence Brands Association, which put us side by side with brands like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Versace. To those I worked some years ago, and the invitation for New York Fashion Week, which is the biggest event in the world of fashion, and Paris Fashion Week is the most iconic event. And about the competition, I can tell you the three main points that differentiate us from the market, from the competitors. We are focused on the luxury market. We have our R&D department to develop all these high-tech materials and fabrics, and we have our own circular economy method. The business model is to bring awareness to the market of the brands and have a strong online presence. In the online presence, we can reach by 300 to 500% of margin in sales. And with this online presence, we are able to reach offline markets like USA market, North Europe, Japan, and also we are now studying the Middle East because of the halal products. In the offline markets, we can reach between 50 to 100% of margin in sales. So our biggest goals is, of course, to make grow our revenue and reach by 2030 200 millions for Najha Fashion, bring brand awareness, bring more online presence, participate in these big events because it's a huge in fashion events. They are huge, and of course, bring new line products and increase our sales stream. So we are offering 20% of the company for 1 million. This is our team. We are 6 at this moment, and here are my contacts. And thank you for everything. I think I'm on time, no, Max? You are muted. You are muted.
Oh, sorry. Everything done 20 seconds ahead the clock. So
Okay. I'm improving.
So let's start with circularity, and I do believe the value chain behind the fashion industry is what creates most of the damage to the environment. The supply chain
Yeah.
and the very low level of control they do have. Many times they have no idea where they're buying, what is the source for the beginning. Now, can you articulate a bit more on the circularity of your supply chain and also the ability to create your own material?
Yes, of course. So together with the suppliers, we study, for example, the waste of the hospitals, the waste of fashion. We are able to put together waste from other factories and recycle it, all of them. Some of the waste of fashion are not able to make recycling because of the composition, different kinds of compositions. So we are able to use our labs with the suppliers and make these methods to work. It's a long process, like the soles from the hospital waste. Was a long process, but now it's possible to do it. They are now able to be present in collections. And also, for example, the dye of the fabrics with the bacteria. It's also a work in progress. For now, we are able to dye a small quantity of fabrics, and we are now studying to use the same method to dye big quantities of fabrics. So we work very close. We have a tech team working on that, and step by step, it's not all at once, but we are testing and make it different, and we change the way of doing with tests, with different kinds of methods of recycling, and we are able to do these innovations for fashion. And about the, I think I answer your question. Yes, Max.
Absolutely. Let me move to the economics from this.
Okay.
If you are recycling waste, this is why you can perform 300, 400% margin.
No, it's because we are more focused on the luxury market, because when we are recycling, the recycling method it does a huge cost, mainly when is in the point of development. Yes, huge costs. But as we are focused on the luxury market, we are able to have bigger margins. Our production is high quality as the materials are high quality. So I can tell, like, to the client, to the customer, that he is able or she is able to use this pair of shoes for a long time. It can use it for a long time, and if there is any problem, we can fix it. It's like slowing the fashion, but having bigger margins on that. And yes, it's mainly focused on all these kind of qualities, production and materials, because materials are highly costly because of the recycling methods, and the luxury allows us to have bigger margins.
But in terms of supply of materials, today you are not there yet, okay? Because you are testing technology to recycle, which means it's pretty costly because the quantity is low and the tech is costly. But one day you will have high quantity and the tech is being completely amortized, which means it's paid. And cost will be done, will go down massively. Then you probably are going to increase your margin even higher. Now, today, if you are making 100 clothes, how much is recycled and how much is bought straightforward from the suppliers? Because you cannot, unless you can already cover 100%.
Okay, how much is about the cost and how much is about margin? Is there?
Let's say 100 in production, okay? How much material can you already recycle and use for producing? How much you need to buy straight from the suppliers? Because maybe you can handle to work with your technology today all the material you need recycling from waste.
Yeah,
I,
at this moment, as I think I understood your question, at this moment we are able, for example, you were talking about 100 pieces. Is that your question? We are able to produce it because together with the suppliers, we how can I say, we pick the waste from other factories and we are able to recycle it. So our recycling method at this moment is able to respond to those kind of quantities. Until 10,000, 20,000, we are able to respond. Of course, if it grows, we have to open our production of fabrics and make it bigger. But at this moment, it's very it's affordable to reach more than 10,000.
one more question on this, which I suppose is the innovative part of your company. And after we move to the market. But are you going one day when the technology is strong enough to supply others with your
Yeah.
technology?
Yeah, I believe in that also. Yes, I think that for me the main issue from the brand is to bring the proposal to the market, and if this in the bring a new proposal to the fashion industry. If this in the future will allow us to supply other brands, why not? Our differentiation is also by the design, not the materials, but also by the design. So this is in the future. It's a different business model inside the business. Yeah, but
Yes.
I already thought about and it make all sense. Yeah.
In terms of market, who is the target? Only vegan? I was reading on your deck vegan, but it
Yeah.
just vegan market?
No. It's focused on luxury, but we put together this luxury this luxury production and luxury materials with the vegan and sustainable, and of course vegan and sustainable. Not only vegan, we how can I say, is we only produce vegan. We don't use any leather or animal um, raw materials. That is for the luxury market. I don't know if I
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. Do you have an investor persona in mind that you would like to approach? Angel, any kind of
Can you repeat the question? I didn't understand.
an investor persona in mind that you would like to reach out?
Yeah.
Which is investor persona? What's the type of investor you're looking for?
Well, I look for mainly. I think it's very important. A smart capital, someone that want to invest, understand the market concerning the luxury, and yes, and understand all this concept. This is the most important thing. I think one investor that is already in luxury will faster understand where I want to reach and where we can reach together. And definitely smart capital, it's very, I think it's very important and very interesting for the company.
We have one investor guest. Was supposed to come today. He couldn't make
Okay.
it, but I will introduce you to him. He just invests in luxury. He's in Germany. I will
Okay.
make you. So stay with us, Daniela. Don't go. I'm moving to our second founder,
Okay. Thank you.
and after we are all coming back. Clive Rethman, Tutor Stream, headquarter is London. Online education and training, around 210K in sterling pounds. How's it going, Clive?
Hello there, Max. Yeah, very good, thank you. Thanks very much for having me on.
My pleasure.
Yes, great. Yes, I'm the co-founder and CEO of TutorStream. Basically, my background has been involved in developing various different types of software applications and bringing them to market successfully. So if I just get onto my slides, just to confirm that's me. And just to summarize to date where we're at with TutorStream, the platform's up and running live. We've got over 12,000 registered users, and we've conducted more than 5,000 online lessons. On average, we are getting 850 new inquiries per month through social media, and the platform is fully integrated with no third-party applications required, and is therefore very secure and accessible to students across the globe. And in fact, we're engaging with students in, for example, China, both directly and through our affiliate partners. Students are able to access the platform where they can't do through old legacy platforms and things like Google Classroom, etc. All of the technology and the software is owned by TutorStream. And just a quick summary on our senior management team. We have Lisa, who has many years' experience in tutoring students across the world, in Asia as well. That's both one-to-one and online tutoring. Lena has a degree in education, and she's currently employed by the state system in the UK, and she specializes in special needs education for students, disadvantaged students. Michelle, she's our admin officer, and she also has experience in education and tutoring. We have Jason, who's our CTO. Jason has an engineering degree in software development and has developed many first-class software applications, including TutorStream. Marlon is our business development officer, and Marlon has successfully started up many businesses, including a student exchange and accommodation company that specializes in students traveling from China to the UK. Myself, as I've mentioned, I basically have a lot of experience in developing and marketing software applications. So where we currently are working on now is our AI platform, which will be integrated onto the current system. The AI application has significant industry exchanging impacts as it enables high quality education to become available to many students who are currently excluded. The AI application enables students to choose their own avatars in their own language and thereby enable them to receive unencumbered tuition as they require. In addition, tuition costs are significantly reduced. And there's a very brief summary there of how it works. With the algorithm will process students' requirements. They can select and choose their avatar, and the system will monitor and help them as they go through their training course. You can see a brief summary there of the income model, which is both provided through live tutoring and through the AI platform for online courses. A quick summary there of our revenue and projected revenue. In 2026, we forecast to be doing £10 million, and we're looking for £210k for a 14% equity stake, and investors will see a 10 times return in their investment within 5 years. So following on from that, I've just got a quick video to run through for you as an example.
Hello Ellie, my name is Jade. I am your personal tutor stream tutor. Following on from the assessment you completed recently, I have put together your GCSE Maths revision course. You can find all of your course papers in your tutor stream online folders. So, if you're ready, let's begin.
Thank you. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Clive. Can we start with how you generate courses and how do you attribute them to the students?
Yes, so essentially what we have is a resource library within the system. And this is something that we've built up over time through the development of the platform, and also through the high levels of skills of our tutors that have been engaging with students on the platform. So effectively, the tutors have brought scheme of works and syllabus content for the courses from their extensive experience with educating students. And so we have therefore built up our resource library, and this is available for students depending on what subject they're looking for and the specific topics within those subjects. And essentially what the platform is able to do is to match their needs with the content available in the resource library and put together a recommended course or courses for those particular students. So it's a very particular, tailored, individual approach to addressing individual students' needs.
But are these courses written also by the tutors, or they brought from that side? Then maybe they use.
Yeah, it's both. So we have, as I say, we have our own tutor network that have brought their own material and developed their own courses, and we're also working with independent third parties for additional content that can be brought across into the platform.
Why, of course, AI is today on edge. We all talk about AI. But why did you decide to use AI? There is any particular reason? Can AI enhance which part of your business model? I mean, not business model, sorry. Which part of your application platform?
Yes, so it's a very good question, and there are there's a few parts to the answer to that. One is to do with cost. So obviously, with a lot of current online tutoring platforms, the student will engage on a live stream with a live tutor, and that amount of time can be very costly for the student, because typically tutors, say, based in Europe and the US, could be typically charging $50, dollars, pounds per hour. And for some students, especially in, other parts of the globe, that can be prohibitively expensive. So engaging with the AI side of things, for example, with using avatars to support the students in their courses, that cost can be significantly reduced. So that's the first benefit, is the cost side of things. The second one is that AI will enable the student to be given the most appropriate course material and recommendations for training from a very significant range of material. So it can be very specifically tailored for their needs. An example of that could be in industry, for example, if you have, say, an airline that introduces a new component into their or new service or component into their program, that can actually be disseminated very quickly to a large number of people very quickly. And the other advantage, of course, is the language, so that the tuition can be transmitted in any language.
That was my next question. In terms of language, I was reading 3 days ago in the Financial Times that very soon, practically, we are talking about months, I can speak to you in English, you can speak to me in Spanish, and we absolutely communicate fluently without any problem. My dream was always talking 5-6 languages. Maybe I can get there too now. For now, I'm stopping English. But my question is your platform possible interacting with any people from any language? Because you are also tutoring in China.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right there, Max, that AI has made such advances in language that it is now possible for students to engage in any language. I mean, there probably are some South American, tribes in the Amazon that probably won't be catered for at the moment, but certainly any major languages, all major languages are catered for, yes.
We don't have so much time for today, but the last question is for your fundraising, 210K, what investors you're looking for?
So ideally, we're looking for investors that have some experience in education platforms and potentially also in AI applications. So we're actually working on the development with the technology with a couple of universities in the UK, but certainly anyone that, potentially investors that have experience with AI and in education would be ideal for us, really.
Thank you, Clive. Stay with us, don't go. We are all back pretty soon. I'm moving to third funders. Nina Kiwit, co-founder and CEO of MindAhead, headquarters in Berlin, Germany, health tech, pre-seed, 1.9 million in Europe. How's it going, Nina?
Good. Thanks for having me. Very nice to be here.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for coming. You are touching a huge problem. We are actually thinking we are organizing a panel discussion on mental health and all the disorders that can come with this massive problem. But I'm not taking any time from you. If you want to introduce yourself, and after we move straight to the pitch. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Nina, and Max said already, I'm based in Berlin, in Germany, and so excited to tell you a bit more about MindAhead. But before I actually dig deeper into MindAhead and what we do, I want you to think about your own future for a moment. And I want you to imagine and think about a world where cognitive decline is reduced. So think about yourself, but also your parents, maybe your grandparents, and envision kind of a future where brain health and clarity in brain health remains intact longer. Because some number that's just crazy and outstanding is that 20% of us, so every one of us has a 20% chance of actually getting dementia and fighting cognitive decline as we're growing older. And it's scary. Dementia and cognitive decline is a super scary disease, no longer being able to trust your own thoughts, your memory, and we want to change it. So we believe in enabling really everyone to age gracefully. So I'm here today to introduce you to MindAhead. It's a medical therapy app to empower individuals to take control of their cognitive health. And why we're really doing this is because once you have a late stage of dementia, there's no cure for it, there's no treatment, there's really no going back. But what you can do is identify signs really early on in the disease stage, and then improve your brain health again. So you can see here circled in red is this mild cognitive impairment stage. So this is the stage of patients that we are looking for in mild dementia to help them not get to this manifest dementia state. So we've created MindAhead, which is a digital therapy app, so treatment app, for people who have a diagnosed mild cognitive impairment or mild dementia. And it's a certified web app and mobile app. And the goal is really to increase patients' cognitive, social, and physical activities, with the goal to improve daily function and quality of life, and in the long term, really also cognitive abilities. So this is what it looks like. That's our application. You can see we have this little physician cartoon character. He's the doctor that runs patients through the program. It's a 3-month program focusing on giving educational content to the patients, giving some in-app exercises to help tease their brains and increase their activities. And then the most important part is we want to activate them in their real life. So it's really all about behavioral activation, finding activities that they're not doing yet and they want to start doing to really be all active again. The person that we're targeting is between 55 and 75 and has a diagnosis in this early stages, is somewhat tech savvy and wants to work on their brain health and stay active. It's a huge market we're looking at. We're all getting older and older. And in fact, 20% of people over 65 have mild cognitive impairment. So worldwide, there are 160 million people who we could help to slow down the progression of the disease. And our core tech works in other disease groups as well. So we are about to also work on multiple sclerosis, on depression, and Parkinson. We truly believe that brain health has to be revolutionized, and this is what we're working on. Our business model is to cooperate with pharma companies and health insurances. In Germany, our first step will be to be digital therapeutics that is what's going to be reimbursed. And what we really focus on compared to other players out there is really this real life behavior change. So we want people to be active in their real lives. And it's a therapy. So it is for people who have a diagnosis. Since the founding of the company last year, one of the biggest pharma company, Roche Pharma, through Rox Health, is our supporter and investor. We've raised more than 700,000 so far. Within days, we've had more than 1,000 people signed up on our MVP. And in about 3 weeks, we're starting our own clinical trial with more than 20 memory clinics involved. And we're super excited about that. So our roadmap is the clinical trial starts. We're going to roll this out as a digital therapy in Germany, and then move on to expansion to other countries and look into a digital therapeutics with pharmacological therapeutics cooperation. We have an experienced team behind this, especially proud of our advisory board. We have Seth Gale from Harvard in our advisory board, Dr. Barry Rovna, but also in Germany, Professor von Arnim, who is supporting us, especially in the clinical trial. So to accelerate brain health, we're looking for 1.9 million euros in our pre-seed round. We still have 500K open, so 75% is committed. And we want to roll out and do our clinical study with this. So thank you very much, and excited for the questions.
Thank you, Nina. This is a massive problem, and I've been through a few startups trying in one way or another to tackle it, but it never will be enough. Absolutely. Now, in terms of detecting, okay, which are the main characteristics that you're going to trace in order to say, okay, you are there. Before you get there, start doing this.
So detecting the disease, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this tool that I just introduced is really focusing on already people who have received a diagnosis. So they already have, by their physicians, received the diagnosis of MCI, so of mild cognitive impairment or mild dementia. And then how it works in Germany is that actually the physician prescribes our tool to the already diagnosed patients. But you're touching upon a point that is super, super relevant. And actually, it's also in our future roadmap that we want to create a digital, an early detection tool to find those patients early on, because, you know, it is so relevant to really find those people early on, because later in the stages, as I said in my pitch, you know, there's no cure, no going back. We do trust on digital technology coupled with AI on creating an early detection tool, but that in fact is a little bit later down the line for us. Than right now, it's really focused on the treatment tool.
And talking about the treatment, exactly what is about, what the patient is going to do with your application.
Yeah, so it's really a 3-month structured program, you know, because the standard care right now. So if you go to a doctor, you get a diagnosis. They tell you, look, you have mild dementia or mild cognitive impairment. According to, you know, guidelines, you have to be more active. Sometimes they're told to, you know, to play Sudokus and puzzles and so on, but that's really the standard care for those early stages. So what we do is we created a really structured program to help people kind of understand, okay, what does it mean to be more active? What does it mean to be more active in the cognitive field, in the social, in the physical field? What are things that I can personally do to, you know, increase activities again? So it's all about that. And we're making it very personal and figuring out, okay, what is it that people are already doing? What can they do different? What can they do new? Because in the end, that's what it all comes down to. We have to, you know, it's all about behavioral activation therapy, and we have to get them out and active and be active.
But are 3 months enough, or this something you must do forever?
Yeah,
Until
yeah, 100%. Good question. So it is something in a short time frame, you know, we can improve like their daily activities, you know, we can activate them. But in order to really improve their cognition, it is something that has to stay up to date, and people have to do it again. Not necessarily every 3 months, but it is something that we want them to incorporate in actually their daily life. So after 12 to 18 months is where you can really see, you know, changes in in not only their activities but also more. So it is something that is supposed to be rather long term.
So this is your short term, which is already extremely big in terms of achievement. After you want to move to different type of mental disease with Parkinson, and so on. I had my granddad with Parkinson. It's an absolute disaster. I mean, it's very painful it's been very painful for him, for the family, for everything, because it destroys all the family. Absolutely, it's incredible. So,
Yeah.
how do you want to go there after this?
Yeah, so actually this came about. So, you know, we've created now a fairly big network of clinics, memory clinics, physician, neurologists in Germany. And this request actually came from the clinical side. So we started cooperating with them on cognitive impairments. They reached out to us and said, like, look, we have a huge need for tracking cognition in other neurodegenerative diseases as well, so such as Parkinson and such as multiple sclerosis. And they actually came to us and asked, like, hey, can we do a study together? Can we create something that helps these other patient groups as well? So there we are about to plan our first clinical studies as well. Not still this year. So now we really focus on cognitive impairment, but it is something that we want to do next year on request from the clinical side.
So what's your go-to-market after this clinical study? And because you have all the trial to do and so on, so it takes a while.
Yeah, so we are cooperating with health insurances and with pharma. You know, we have a very good connections to different kind of pharma companies, especially in that field. There is movement now in that field for the first time since decades again. And that's the way we want to go for. You know, in Germany specifically, it is through targeting physicians. So we're using our already created network, plus cooperating then with healthcare stakeholders to bring it to the market.
I was smiling because today I was exactly reading a news. I mean, why I was thinking to do this panel discussion on physician burnout, because they say they are so much under stress, they just explode. It's simply too much. In terms of business model, very shortly, it's perfectly how it works with insurance. How does it work with healthcare industry, for example?
So the idea is really that the physician prescribes it, and so we either can go through selective agreements with health insurances that they offer it to their insured people, and in a public sector, the physician prescribes it, and the health insurance, this is the way we're going for in Germany, then reimburses us for the use of the tool whenever a patient actually gets it prescribed and uses it.
In terms of investment for these 500 left, what investors are looking for?
Yeah, so ideally, we're actually looking for somebody who is somewhat familiar with the healthcare market. It's a very regulated industry, a very specific one. So an investor who has some kind of touch points with healthcare, that's someone we're looking for.
Nina, thank you so much. Don't go stay. We are very soon back. And I'm moving to our last, but of course, not the least, founder. George Luniv, founder of Power from On High, Florida, Energy, pre-seed around 430K in USD. How's it going, George?
Excellently. How are you, Max?
Oh, good. You're better than me. You're in Florida. I'm a bit cold. You are under the sunshine. But without complaining, please give an introduction to yourself and after speech.
Very good. I am currently an aerospace controls engineer, have been in controls engineering for the last 22 years. Previously to that, I was an entrepreneur of my own private business, and that lasted 12 and a half years until the vice president unexpectedly died, which forced me to become a caregiver to my mom. And I did that for 6.5 years and then took care of everything and then continued working. Don't like the idea of retirement because I tried it while with taking care of my mom. It's extremely boring. So I delved into the realm of controls and automation engineering as well as network engineering. I'm very much into IT. And on Power from On High, I will not only be the founder, I'll be the director, I'll be the accountant, I'll be the customer service person, I will be the marketing person and the maintenance person. And as the business grows, I will build my team accordingly, picking and choosing very carefully who I want to join for this endeavor. And let me get to the slides there. And the fuelless power generator is actually a zero carbon energy output. And it has come. It's not a myth, it has come. A design developed that takes the known 1.4 horsepower per generated kilowatt and has disproven that fact. A lot of engineers gauge all of their calculations by that formula, 1.4 horsepower to generate 1 kilowatt of electricity. The problem is, the problem is electric power generation is not without pollutants of one type or another. The solution, a fuelless power generator. The product, power from on high. It's a carbon-neutral electric generator that produces no byproducts, nor uses any wind, hydro, solar, nuclear, or batteries to function. What's the cost, you asked? You must be thinking expensive, right? How about 1/3 the price of equivalent solar output on a roof? The generator is called power from on high. It's almost a heavenly given gift to mankind. And the letters APG in the black box there, which the angel's holding up, okay, stands for Archangel's Power Generator. This is my background. I've invented things in the past before. In 1994, when my dad was still alive, who was the vice president of the corporation, and I got wind of the fact that he was worried he wouldn't pass his eye exam, which would take away his driving privileges. So I immediately went to developing and designing Florida's first 3-wheel electric tricycle. Why a tricycle? For balance. He was in his 70s, and I wanted to make sure he wouldn't fall over while making use of an electric motor turning the wheels on the bicycle, which is the concept of the electric bicycles that are in market right now. But this was back in 1994. So this gives you an idea how much my thinking is ahead of the curve. If you want a copy of the article, just email me. My email address is there, alamega789@bellsouth.net, and just say you want the inventor's article, and I'll send you the copy of it so you can read all the words on each extreme side of the margins. Power from on high. Let's review other uses other than just a portable generator. How about electrifying public transportation? How about private electric aviation, which is getting big right now in the form of private drones acting as air taxis from buildings, from airport to your home, from your home to a bus terminal. It's getting very big, and they're all using batteries, and the batteries limit how far they can go. With my generator, they could go as far as they want. It all depends on the design of the drone that they're using, okay, and how fast it goes and all of that, and whether it's exposed to weather and rain and wind and things like that. But the power from my generator will be there. Off-grid living cabins. Remote cabins where no grid power is available. Military uses. Crypto processing computer power sources. I could go on and on, but I believe you're mentally expanding your other options of how it can be used. But I'm sure you're interested in the numbers, financial numbers. The total area market from this article in Zion Market Research, the global portable generator market was valued at US dollars of 1.5 billion in 2021. In 2022, the market size and share revenue was valued at around 3.9 billion. So in 1 year, it almost doubled. Estimated growth in US dollars is 5.9 billion by 2030, at a compounded annual growth rate, which they call CAGR, and using the rate of 5.5% from 2023 to 2020. In 7 more years, it will hit a $5 billion market. What's my serviceable area market locally? Conservatively, I've calculated 690 million in 5 years. And what's my obtainable market area? Conservatively, 270 million in 5 years. Thanks for your time. Any questions and answers?
Thank you, John. I'm not an engineer, I'm not an IT guy, but my question is, how do you generate energy? If not from the solar, it's not from the wind, where does it come from?
That's a trade secret, okay? But I use multiple principles of physics to make it happen.
Did anyone thought about this before?
I've researched it. Others have tried, but the problem they encounter is when the generator is under full load. it stops, it slows down. It can't meet the full load demand. Mine does.
In terms of zero carbon, because that's where the leverage is, are you sure
Correct.
you can produce zero? Because I don't think any energy produced today goes to zero.
As I mentioned before, the 1.4 horsepower per kilowatt is no longer valid with my generator. All right. I can generate not only 1.4 horsepower, but I mean 1.4 kilowatts. I can generate 5, 8 kilowatts, 10 kilowatts with the same horsepower. It scales up. I can produce kilowatts or I can produce megawatts with the same principle.
How much do you need to move ahead?
In order for me to pursue this 100% of my time, I'm looking at 430K, which would fund me for a year. And within that year, I'm estimating within the first 9 months, I will be self-sufficient from the profit and the cash flow.
By the very beginning, just you, as you mentioned at the beginning, is just you doing almost everything.
Correct. And
You
I have
sure-
the background. I have the background from my previous business.
Are you sure you can handle everything in terms of not capability, time?
Yes, very much so. I've even spent sleepless nights getting things done. It's not strange for me. I love work because, like I said, I've tried retirement before, and it is absolutely boring.
Going back to Nina, cognitive impairment, I do hope I don't go there as I do hope for everyone, each of us, and I can work until the last day I will be on earth, because otherwise without working I will be the most bored person in the world.
Of
But
course.
saying that, in venture capital, you need scale. You need absolutely scaling to make investors happy and giving them a good return. Now, how do you think you can scale production? Please?
Scaling production would simply be expanding to different parts of the United States to reduce the shipping costs. And the scaling is there. Again, I'm envisioning the scaling coming from the cash flow and the profits.
Do you think it's
early
enough?
on. I'm sorry?
Do you think it's enough?
Yes, I do. I do. To start scaling out, everything starts small. Okay. And if I get too many orders and I can't do it myself, I will hire assemblers, I will hire mechanics, I will hire engineers to do the assembly. And the supplies is very simple. I have multiple suppliers already touch base with, and the supply is there. So if anybody runs out, I can always run to another supplier and get it. Not an issue.
Who are the investors you're looking for?
I'm looking for energy investors who understand what this will mean. This is a very disruptive technology. Solar panels have a lot of risk, a risk to natural disaster, hailstorms, tornadoes, hurricanes. This generator will sit inside your house at the bottom on the floor, right under your utility box, connected to your utility box.
How big is it?
Bigger than a breadbasket.
Okay. George, stay there. Don't go, because we are bringing all our other three founders back. And let me start with you. If in 20 seconds, if you need to convince investors to invest in your startup, your best elevator pitch, what would be?
How would you like to have an electric car that you can drive from New York to LA without stopping?
I would love it. Thank you so much, George. Daniela, please.
So I have three main points. You will investing in a committed and motivated entrepreneur. The second point, you will investing not only in the business, you will investing in family heritage, and it's much more than just a business. And the third point is you will be investing in the future of fashion, definitely in the future of this industry.
Thank you so much, Daniela. Clive.
Thanks, Max. Yes, investing in TutorStream means you'll be empowering students from all backgrounds, ages, and abilities across the globe to achieve their full potential and aspirations. Thank you.
Thank you, Clive. Nina, you are the one who's going to close today. Please.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so basically you can really help us to fight one of the biggest health threats of our times that can affect every single one of us, even yourself. So help us improve your own brain health.
Thank you so much, Nina. As I don't think we have any questions coming from the audience. No, we don't. So we can close today's session. I really thank you, Nina, Clive, Daniela, and George, to take your time today, spend it with me, talking about venture capital and your dreams and ventures. And I do hope everyone enjoyed. I did very much so. I hope the audience enjoyed as well. And any investor wants to get in touch with you, we don't charge any form of success fee. This is a complimentary service we give to our funders. They can get in touch directly to you. They can go to our YouTube channel. There they find all the information and without any problem, get in touch with each of you. Thank you again to all of you guys and to all our audience. I hope you enjoyed as well and see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.
Dziękuję, Max.
Dziękuję.